Hey everybody, thanks for pressing play. In this video I want to show you around this car here. This is a 2017 Honda Civic. This is what's called a Smart model, and the engine is a 1 litre VTEC turbo. This car is actually a one owner car from new. It has a full dealer service history from the garage here, and we've done an awful lot of work to have the car ready for the next customer, so they're going to have a very easy ownership cost over the next few years. This video is specifically to show somebody who's possibly interested in a car like this, the features that are on the outside and the inside, and we're going to go for a quick drive in the car as well. If you want any information on the car, Brian's my name, 086 843 1945. Call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits, and I'd be happy to go through information about financing the car, information about trading in your car, or if you just want to know more information about that actual car. So starting off, what I'd like to do is just run around some of the features that are on the outside of the car that I think that make this type of car cool and distinctive compared to a lot of the other cars on the market. So the rear of the car, right, I really like these taillights. So they're nice LEDs, see the way it goes all the way around. The reason I like them is when you're driving behind these at night time, it makes it very distinctive. And if you look at the way the shape of the letters, the C kind of is the same as the tail lamp. Small detail, but either side it's kind of nice and symmetrical. It looks cool anyway. In terms of the rear of the car, Smart model will have parking sensors across the back, and it's also going to have them on the front, as we'll see as well. There's two spoilers, but they are functional, so they look cool. But they actually drag air down through here, down through there, and out through the rear. Honda would be super nerdy when it comes to aerodynamics and fuel efficiency, and they are there as a functional purpose. I'd like to say to you, they look pretty cool as well anyway. The other thing I was going to say to you then is down through here. So there's a lot of little bits of black on the car. I think red and black goes really well together. So you see the way the little kind of splitter along the bottom, that section there. Some people like the vents and some people don't. I actually really like them because I think the black and the black spoiler and the black around the tail lights along here, I think that all goes together really well. And then as we move down the side of the car, these are what's called a diamond cut wheel. So what I mean by that is shiny and reflective here, but dark in here. The useful thing about that is it kind of hides the brake dust, but at night time or on a sunny day, you'll see the reflection from those wheels. It looks really, really cool. But bear in mind, they're shiny and they're complemented very nicely by that chrome that goes around the windows as well. When the previous owner bought the car, they specified this mud flap set. Doesn't sound like much, but actually with Honda, they're quite expensive. So they're about 150 euros, and they provide protection to the car as well. Down the side of the car, it is a much bigger vehicle than the previous model. So if you're looking at this and you're thinking about upgrading from the previous model, it's a lot wider and longer. The boot is super big as well. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. Round to the front, like we were saying then, you will have parking sensors, and then you have these nice daytime running lights along through here, full light, dip light. And like I was talking about already then, the black nose and the black grille and the black splitter along the front, again, very, very similar to what we saw in the back, and puts really nice contrast against the red body on the car. Like, here's the thing, there is way more conventional cars out there to buy, but you already buy a car like that because, you know, it's conventional. Like, you want something that's kind of cool, you know, and the big thing with these is you don't see them absolutely everywhere, and I think that's why people buy them. They want something that's a little bit different, and they want to stand out a little bit. And there's a lot of practical stuff. When you get into the inside of the car, they're really well thought out. Let's have a look around the inside. And I know I probably sound like I'm giving you a big sales pitch on the car. Well, yes, that is my job. But we actually own one of these cars, so I think that's as big a sales pitch that I can give anyone that I've actually gone out myself and my partner actually own a Honda Civic. The reason we have one is for a buggy in the back. The boot, when we looked at a few cars, and we sell, you know, different brands here at the garage, this, even compared to something like a Tucson or something like that, this was actually the best boot that we could see. And we actually are moving on to our fourth Civic in this 10th generation. So that I think is as good an advocate for these cars as I can give anyone. So that moves across, and then after that, if you want, the seats would fold down, and then you get this massive load area. For the odd time I found if you've something awkward or something that you want to transport, it's basically as good as a car style van. To close it then, there's two handles depending if you're left or right handed, and actually even things like that tray that can go from the right side to the left side or vice versa, again if you're right or left handed. That's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of practical thinking on cars like this. Capless, really convenient, straight in, close, and that's it. Much more convenient. In terms of the inside of the car in the back, so speaker over here, tweeter over here, and that's on every door, so you get excellent sound. Chilocks back through here, electric through windows over here, hard wearing plastic along there, and then dark nylon along there. And the rear of the car then, 3 head restraints, 3 3-point safety belts, and ISOFIX on either side. The other thing I found is with a buggy, or not a buggy, with a child seat in the back, actually the legroom is good for the child, because you know the way kids' feet kind of hang over the child seat eventually. If I sat behind myself, That's the kind of legroom I have, and then the headroom. So fair enough, the headroom could be a little bit higher, but at 6 foot it's definitely sufficient. Nice black sporty roof cloth that complements the other dark interior on the car, but the legroom's really good on these. Moving down along the front then, again actually nice brushed aluminium along here and here, front and rear electrics, and then electrics for mirrors over through there. The seat is completely height adjustable, as you'd imagine, and that steering wheel then is rake reach, so it goes in and out. Small little things along here, these are actually anti-whiplash, so you can bring them a little bit further forward to reduce the amount of whiplash you'd incur if someone crashed into the back of you. There's loads of safety on these cars. What I mean by that is driver's airbag, passenger airbag, curtain up high, side of the seats, but they have other functions as well. So there is functionality over here which does two things. One of them actually warns you, so if you're driving along, you drift across the white line, it'll vibrate the wheel to warn you. Or the second one is you can engage an active lane keep assist, and what that does is slowly manipulates the wheel to try and keep you dead center between the lanes. But the great thing about these is some people don't like it and you can turn it off. Some other cars you can't turn it off anymore. Every time you start the car it comes back on, so at least with this you have an autonomous choice. There's also collision mitigation, so if you don't touch the brake pedal and you're about to impact something under 32 kilometers an hour, this car is going to engage the brakes and try and stop you. The other thing as well is the cruise control, so if you set the cruise, obviously you can take your foot off the pedal, but you can decide and tell the car how far you want to stay behind the car in front, so if they slow down, you slow down. Other controls on the steering then, iMid over here, average speed, fuel efficiency. Cool things like it actually tells you the current speed zone you're in, which is up through there as well, and then after that, maintenance information and other general settings. The lights down here will be automated, so they will actually do their own thing from there. And then over there, wiper controls over through here. We live in a world these days where everyone loves a touchscreen. I am old and just getting a bit kind of, yeah, I don't know, I kind of had enough of screens in a way. See this radio here, right? Yes, it's straightforward, but what it does is it allows me to use my phone, it allows me to stream music, it allows me to use the radio, and if I want to change the volume, I just go like that and nothing else. I don't have to go into another screen, and then start touching and swiping. This is so much more practical, and my eyes spend lots more time on the road instead of going through screens. Screens are really cool, they're always going to look nice, and we live in that kind of a way. I don't know, I just actually find these kind of radios much easier to use. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know, maybe about it, I am getting old. But anyway, over through here, warm or cold, and you can say automatically get me to 25 degrees and it'll do its own thing. Front and rear windscreen demisters, and the rear windscreen also demists those wing mirrors as well, which is dead handy when you're driving the motorway in the winter. Down through here then, there is a little bit of storage you can pull, and you've got a USB connector then down through there if you want to plug your phone in direct, or you can stream music via Bluetooth as well. The handbrake is electronic. Really what you do is it automatically releases, which means you never use it. So the only thing you ever need it for is at the end of your journey, engage, and that's it. Drinks holder down through here, a little bit more storage in through here. And over here then, there is a full service history with the garage from new. One thing I'd like to just go through on the car like this, like we really prepare a car for sale. So what I mean by that is a car like this, it's got low mileage, but we put 4 tyres on it. We've done the engine servicing. We've also replaced front brake pads and discs, and also rear brake pads and discs. This car has had a service that amounts to about 1,700 euros. It's not that there's nothing wrong with the car, it's just we like to do things properly, so it really has to make a difference. If you're looking at a few of these cars, this car is so well prepared, you have such a minimal amount of expense going forward, and that's the idea. We've also done one other big job in this car as well. So these 1 litre engines, not once or twice, we have had a couple of them where there's a problem with the turbocharger. So this one actually has a brand spanking new turbocharger. We've replaced the timing belt on it as well. Some people might see that as a good thing, some people might see it as a bad thing. Personally, I see it as a good thing because all that preventive maintenance is now done. So again, going forward, it's going to contribute to being a reliable vehicle. So like we're saying to you, the car is really well prepared. I'm really confident about this car. We're going to put a warranty on it for 12 months as well anyway, but very little expense on a car like this if you decide to keep it for the next 3 to 4 years. Anyway, let's go for a bit of a drive. Driving these cars, they are pretty wide. That is the first thing. So this car is going to feel wide and low to the ground as well. But that kind of makes it feel sort of sporty as well. The cabin is very, very functional. Like I was saying to you a while ago about things like the radio and stuff like that. If you have a look around this cabin overall, it's functional, straightforward, does what you need it to do, and it's easy to use. In terms of road tax for the year, it's 200 euros for the year, and the engine is really peppy. We'll have a look at that in a sec. Do you remember I was saying there's lots of safety features in the car? So there is a feature along here which is speed sign recognition. So if you look down here, go through the speed signs, pops up, and you can also set your speed limit to respect that as well. The engine, like we're saying, is a thumpy sounding engine, and it's 127 horsepower. So 1 litre turbo, but it's actually quite a quick car to accelerate. And they're really sure-footed on the road as well, because when you are driving one of these, it's wide, there's independent rear suspension, it makes you feel confident, and there's a lovely gear change. Read any review on these cars, people always talk about how nice the gear change is in these cars. So who's the car for? The car is for somebody that wants a frugal, easy to run petrol car, somebody that wants a car with a good level of equipment, somebody that wants a car that's actually very safe as well, and somebody wants a car that's just a little bit different from all the other cars on the road, like the Focus and the Golf and the Astra and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we are happy to take trade-ins. We can offer you warranty on a car like this as well. So if there's any information you want, Brian is my name, 086 843 1945. Thanks for watching, hopefully the cars are of interest.